super comfortable. You're going to get some serious high-level Valorant here today. Assuming that all of the players turn up, because both teams like to stress each other out too. They're going to force gunfights at times, lean on that confidence, and your form needs to be good on the day. I gotta be honest though, the battle that's drawing my eye immediately is Kangkang versus Zekken on the Neon matchup. EDG are predicting a B round pistol here. You see them with nobody watching over towards A long as Sentinels were trying to sneak up C. The game was given away.
Yeah, smoke is propped up in the face of Zekken, but it's still util ready and waiting over the shoulder. Here's the fault line. The relay bolt just ricocheting wildly. It's going to be that split in through, but still they don't have backside control. EDG making sure to flood in with a couple of players, but the pause is called and an evacuation by SEN. They don't want anything to do with the C site.
Where are they going though? Because Kangkang waiting here on B gets caught.
No way, Sheriff in his hands. He felt like he was almost good for the one, but with him dropped, EDG gearing up for a bit of an attempt through this one, just biding their time, waiting in the smoke, and they hear the rumble of the footsteps. Nobody is going to be tested. A lot to overcome into this spot with the movement. Clean up and over, but here comes the pincer. Crunch from behind, EDG. Leaving no stone unturned. They cleared away mostly through, and Sassy's now the one who has to hold down the line.
Ten's got stuck on that pivot. Sassy sees them, stun.
It's a pixel angle that he's working with here, but the damage is being dished out. Sentinels left scrappy, and it's down to Zelsis, trying to down with the ghost. Not enough to cool down the weapon in his hand. Simon, the rookie, steps up, squares up, and seals up that opening pistol round.
Was the stun from Zelsis not good? Or did EDG just hit two absolute banging shots there to take out their opponents on SEN? Ten's got caught in that A-link pivot, but I think overall the macro ideas were good. Yeah, the stun didn't quite catch onto anybody other than Chishu. But even so, I mean, that's a pretty ridiculous kill from him. He's happy about that one. A great start for EDG. Both of these teams confident in their Haven gameplay. We've seen them both play Havens. We're really high level already in this tournament.
I'd hard agree with that. I think EDG as well, they're trying to put that best foot forward. This is an important match for a variety of reasons. Listen, it's not just the biggest event of the year, but as the desk was mentioning, it's one of their best opportunities to break past that previous ceiling they kind of reached, I suppose, at other events where they've only got 5th, 6th. If you win here, you get that minimum of top 3.
And they've never even been able to replicate that 5th/6th finish at a tournament. It took outrageous performances from Kangkang, putting on an all-star operator.
Yeah. Attempt as well
Spike down
from
B.
Sentinels to see if they can get that easy plant down, but it's already read by EDG.
I think a really crucial strategic tool for Sentinels is going to be applying pressure to nobody. You see how he's just holding A long in this round on his own. Sentinels need to be able to shove him off, and EDG have lots of different ways that they can trap around this. It's getting not risky so much, but economically damaging, and in the midst of all of this, Tens has snuck his way in a little.
Yeah.
Given away his position, unfortunately. Kind of had to.
I don't think there should be any danger here unless Tens was able to lurk his way behind.
30 seconds left.
But you can see that the EDG players are willing to take these fights. And it has been an expensive round.
Yeah. Softened up.
John's running away with 1 HP, seeing what other mischief he can get up to.
The cage, okay, shot down, at least chasing him down.
But that is not bad. Smoggy's still got some money in the bank, so has Simon, so it's not going to be the most devastating knock to the EDG economy in the world, but it's going to soften it up slightly for round 3 and make it easier for Sen to get on the board.
Yeah.
I think that A lobby fight though, and pushing nobody off the A line is going to be massively important. But EDG often make it feel like it's only the Sova playing there, and if you try to take that fight, suddenly they collapse onto you with a big A lobby ambush. So you do have to be careful. You see in this round, they've got 4 players stacked up defending that side of the map there, EDG. And they're not throwing util out right at the beginning. They're waiting to see if Sentinels try to take that space before they hit the ambush. So they went exactly for that strat.
So I'm going to be using a little bit of kit, making sure that they can clear the way, let's get rid of the trip. Mid-round information as well from nobody. He's just using that drone, but it was broken. There's still a bit of uncertainty, but this whole time EDG have taken deep A lobby control. You can see Kangkang is posted here. This angle, just just removing the drone. Cage up into his face. We'll have to use the stun to slow down any approach from Sen in case the punish was there.
Smoggy still has paranoia in his hands as well.
Yeah, he's not giving up this space. Kankan could thrive into this spot and position a bonus round conversion in his side. Still, flash has to be avoided. Still gets the one. Great adjustment and snap back with a crosshair placement. 40 seconds left for Sentinels, and the question remains, which way are they trying to land? And NeuroFF will give them critical information to work with.
It looks like they're going to group up over towards A, but that's still where Smoggy and Simon are.
30 seconds left.
No easy openings, 25 seconds left. Jump spots. Smoggy sees it, catching it. A lot of information gathered. Fault line is good though. Just concatenates on top, and Simon just trying to play this tight angle. Blinded up from the side, still lands that shot. Traded though, plant down for JungQT, nothing to push this one back.
Ridiculously good supportive utility there from Zelsis and Tens.
Nobody's going to be praying that somebody opens up wide, but up onto the heaven angle. Zelsis, who's claiming that one, dropped down. Double digits of health, but there's only Chichu left with the Bulldog. They're here to reload. It gives Tens the prime opportunity to just pre-aim onto the angle.
A big round for Sen to get onto the board, but a difficult one still. EDG fighting tooth and nail to hold on to these spots. And you can see this team, they got some dangerous setups on the defense side. I think in terms of that team play that EDG were talking about and their preparation, this is the best tournament for them.
Yeah.
Even if you contrast it back to Tokyo, that was more individualism. And Kankan waking up and having the world's most wonderful op performance we've seen from a player, I would argue. This version of EDG seems like they've put in a lot more thought to their game and tactics on top of that.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think that, you know, despite you could look at some of their opponents this tournament and you might not be too impressed in terms of who they've actually bested. But for me, I've been paying attention to how they've been trying to play. And look at this, bit of a trap play setup, but stun missing. Hello, accidental kill. Right through the wall, bit of unfortunate action occurring, at least for JungQT, not unfortunate for EDG.
But they respam it, and so both teams come out of that fairly similar. But with the Cypher down, this opens up different options. EDG could now try to push aggressive and get flanks off against Sen. And Sen could group up and go for a big site execute onto C, where the Cypher's now got no utility. EDG don't choose the aggressive option, though. They're keeping players anchored to C to try to make up for that fact.
Nobody has the rifle. Nobody has the rifle, but as he's looking for that information, I mean, that's what happens when the drone is used a little bit prior. Didn't have it to try and safely garner it. At least there's going to be relay bolts as well, and space given. Yeah.
This is ridiculously good from Sen. That lurk timing from Zelsis is marvelous.
Wait,
but it doesn't matter.
Yep, and Smoggy's right back in there. The paranoia is already sent out. That's preemptive. Outlaw in the hands of 140. Zekken down to the double digits, but still alive for now. Glides to the side, and he is the spearhead. Like, literally in this case, man. Cracks open the C site, despite the resistance that EDG were trying to put up.
Doesn't seem likely that Kankan would be able to pull this off, but he is an extraordinary player. If he had the stun to work with, maybe he'd be able to isolate a 1.
A wall to get in 2, but honestly with his money low, in a 1v3, best course of action probably going to be to save.
Yeah, he's just seeing there whether anyone's going to give him a free duel. But Sentinel's going to play with a bit more discipline than that.
Well,
they're looking to try to take the gun.
Yeah, they understand the importance of this one. Sentinel's thinking ahead.
Bye-bye.
Zekken, head clean off.
Go, go, go.
Sen realize it. They're in danger of just being trapped down to the spike, so they're going to do a bit of a mad dash. But it does bring us down now, at least 2-2 in terms of the rounds.
And it's nobody, the newer IGL for EDG, that actually gets the wrong read on this round. You see him being caught there going for the re-clear on A. He'd called for his team to reinforce the C site, because in his head, that's the most logical place for Sentinels to end. You've just killed the defending Cypher. Why not hit that site where the anchor player is no longer there? So they reinforce C with Simon, Smoggy, and keep A very weak. Nobody tries to hold it on his own, gets punished for that. Not necessarily hubris, though. It's just you can't cover the entire map when you're in that position. Perhaps he should have dropped off site, but nobody is a very confident player. And we're going to see this version of EDG's trap being run on their eco.
Trouble is Kankanger's going to be falling prey. Yep, Zekken glides his way forwards to a nice little win, and he's covered over the shoulder once more by Tens. Spraying away, it matters not about that paranoia. Smoggy. They know he's playing somewhere nearby. It's all about clearing them out. They've got that diligence, TP up and over, and certainty for Smoggy. Just the one before his drop.
All of the coordination working really brilliantly there for SEN. That additional pause that Zekken throws into things just to allow TenZ on top of the box. They've been doing a lot of that. In a 4v1, Chishu once again finds himself in a spot that's simply unwinnable. 9 HP.
Listen, it's a nice shot under Sassy. But with Sentinels now taking the lead, only by the one round, it looks like they've regained a little bit of that composure just from losing some of the prior rounds. But it's SEN kind of running away with it.
And they've also now experienced that A-lobby delayed crunch, but it was on an eco, which was easier for them to deal with. These players swinging in from EDG did not have big rifles to be able to take the fight to them on an even basis. And so that should actually help SEN in the future figure out, okay, we had an idea of how to deal with it. Did it work? Do we need to make adjustments if there's going to be rifles up in the future? They did look pretty set on that, though. The stun coming out over towards A-Long was nice. It wasn't right at the beginning of the round. Both teams feeling each other out very well. But SEN come in on top and EDG take attack timeout.
Yeah.
It seems like a good time for it. You just lost 3 in a row back into a big rifle.
Summing up, I mean, there's plenty of ultimates sitting. Simon's got his rolling thunder, nobody. The Hunter's Fury definitely could try and make something happen. Proactivity maybe on the defense.
One of the areas that I'd like to see EDG explore is trying to create mid-pressure and make it very difficult for Sentinels to just walk into grass anytime they like. If you can do that, you're more likely to burn the drone out of Sassy, which means it's much more difficult for you to retake over towards A. There's a huge amount of benefits to trying to put some early mid-pressure as the defenders, something that I think Fnatic do fantastically on this map. One of the reasons why they're probably the most dangerous team in the world on Haven.
That an alpha, yeah. I mean, that guy is just a demon.
He absolutely is. Some demonic plays in this server as well, though.
We'll see if EDG can return that fire a little bit to make it even once more on this round right here. Sentinels though, they're a scary team, a dangerous team over the course of this tournament. Low expectations, I think, overall. From outside, a lot of the community talking about them.
Absolutely, but I think that made sense at the time too.
Yeah.
They hadn't had a recent run of great form coming into champs, and they were the 4th seed. No other 4th seed even won a match.
Bait and switch setup, fully blinded up there. Smoggy barely gets rid of the dart, so Kang's not revealed in terms of his position, but Simon, I believe, spotted off into the corner. Wall up into his face.
So tempted for Simon to swing that.
Yeah, and Zekken, you can see him. He was holding, waiting, trying to bait him in. Drone to re-clear out through mid. EDG might be looking to try and cook something up.
A re-hit here through onto B after a little bit of a garage clear. Be a great idea here for SEN. But do they anticipate 2 players garage? It looks like Kang should be trying to pull attention and disappear.
There's 40 seconds left out. SEN don't have map control other than through mid, and they are surrounded on multiple fronts.
Simon's a little far away to deny this plant with his ult. Is he going to rip it?
30 seconds.
Yeah, well, the stun at least does connect. He doesn't let the ult go. Aftershock is a little bit delayed there. Lighting up onto Zekken, but still the plant is down. Hunter's Fury trying to layer this one down along with the rolling thunder. Cacophony of ultimates, and it is coming up to fruition. JungQT holding onto the corner. Simon with a reposition, and there's a count for it. JungQT dropped down, just can't reset the aim in time. 2v2. The tap. Neurofef reveals it. Fights to be taken down to that 1v1. And Chichu now going to be getting that information. Sassy is revealed with the shots fired off as well. Jump spot, pulls him off. No half in sight for Chichu. He's tapping away as well, praying for those stray shots to hit. Sassy might need to swing this one. Chichu unable to survive.
When the recon misses there towards the end, Sassy's got a split second to make that decision to swing. Very close to letting that one slip through his fingers. But the player on Sentinels with that Champions Trophy already in the cabinet comes up clutch for them again. A nice attempt by EDG once more to put pressure down mid on the retake. But the plant denial was late. I think that's a bit of an error there from Simon, actually. Led with the fault line and then the aftershock, but it was a bit too delayed. Didn't stop Zekken from planting.
And once more the economy Taking a tumble and a fall here for EDG. They don't even have a stack of players over towards A. Just nobody in Kankang.
No, at this point, Sentinels are absolutely running away with it, assuming they can convert the anti-eco.
Kankang might have something to say with it. Jump spot. In through the sprint and the glide. Fully accurate. Nobody. Not long for it. Hot shots fired by Kankang. He's praying that he can land at least one of the targets, hit one of the domes, but all the signs of life that SEN do see to cause him to scurry.
Yeah, you've seen 3 players over on this site. You know that there's max 1, the Cypher, playing elsewhere. They're going to leave TenZ inserted. He's always got that Omen ultimate to be able to go back to the rest of his team. But he might end up just walking backwards into Kankang. No.
Okay, broken. Wait a second. Kankang.
Oh,
And accounting for it. They've missed each other.
but he's not watching.
Not watching at all, and still damage is done to second. Softened up from the prior engagement still. TenZ striking from behind. The trade is online. They might want to make their moves now over towards A, but already bodies are rapidly approaching. The trouble is EDG do not have the guns for the job.
And Sentinels can backfill all of this space up to where TenZ was, because they know it was only Kankang that went through.
Bloody hell, I mean, the fault line's dodgy here. Simon, there's plenty of chances for him still. He is landing them. The Sheriffs are singing right now for EDG. Defensive smoke. A lot of uncertainty for Sentinels. They can feel it. They're going to try and bail themselves out of this one. The Rolling Thunder is committed. Simon tucked to the corner, but stands out. There wasn't much he could do into that spot. So Sentinels were pushed into a tricky situation, feeling the need to offload some of those critical ults to at least find a way to win that.
But that's very much a silver lining to a Dark Storm Cloud approaching for EDG. A couple of moments where Chaos maybe could have made the difference for them, but I think John plays that really beautifully towards the end. Cage inside the smoke, gives him sound cues if anyone tries to push, and then you see John ping out where Zellsis should ult. The IGL making the call. All right, we've got to invest this ultimate now. It's only me and you.
Full play stack.
It does make this round a little weaker, but SEN have showcased that they can deal with everything that EDG are throwing on defense currently.
Yeah, the mid-rounding is definitely, I think, showing that SEN are currently getting the right reads into rounds, making sure to slow it down at the right moments, and then the firepower usually carrying them over the line if it does get tricky.
I think I'm right in saying the only time they've contested C fully is when they went for it on the pistol round.
Yeah, it feels like the pistol round, at least from my memory. Drone is used hyper committed into A lobby, so Sentinels are going to be aware that that control is given up to EDG.
Certainly looking like an execute's going to come through here on C. Smoggy has his ult to try to reinforce, but is he going to be fast enough with a smoke?
Not going to be broken here. The Hunter's Fury clears his way through and back and around here. The fault line was dodged by Chichu. Has found himself and carved out a little bit of a pocket and space to play around. Paranoia still here, but the aftershock is way too much. Just singeing his feet. Chichu just couldn't stand still amongst most of that fire. Second offloading it with the overdrive. Peppering them, some stray shots. EDG are going to need a pick to see if they can make this one doable. Zekin overextending ever so slightly, but still he's good for the kill as well. They're tracking! They just can't get a handle or any sort of control on him. It's precise. Kankang almost there. Could have provided a chance, an opportunity, but Smoggy's been left alone into the 1v3, and TenZ takes back up that position. Low enough as well, but again, surgical by TenZ.
It's looking like a great day for TenZ out there as well. 11-4 after only 8 rounds. That's pretty ridiculous. If you look at players that have had outsized impact, outside of just the main duelists, where you're going to see great performances from Kankang and Zekin no matter what, if you look at who's had the biggest impact for Sentinels and EDG, I'd be looking towards TenZ and Smoggy. And the fact that they're on those smoke rolls, fighting against each other right now, gives you a great comparison. At the moment, TenZ is just getting involved in way more on the attack side, trading people out. Again, finding moments to dominate with his impact. His raw aim's so strong.
And SEN are just going to disrespect the early A lobby. Util that was dished out by EDG. They're holding, considering, I think, and waiting to see if there is that re-clearance. Strunk UT does need to be careful. Opens himself up to that angle there, but again, it's the weaponry. I mean, EDG have not been able to recover any sense of that. Nothing built up in the bank.
You see there, John using a cage again for the sound cues, making sure that he can't get pressured as he takes a little more space towards mid. They're being very cautious on these anti-eco Sentinels. They don't want to get tripped up. But But it is incredible that EDG have only won the pistol and the follow-up. Where's the punish here? Where's the cover?
Yeah, nobody watching, just in case that was that punish here. Chichu, a couple of shots, backs away with his life, but just pulling apart the EDG defense. Second, built up by the cam, stunned up at that. Unlikely to see that follow-up. The more the time does get dragged down to the finer moments, might see opportunities for EDG to strike. Aftershock pushing them back and away from the plant. Zellsis going for round 2, needs to be covered, and Tenz has it. Pushed up, high ground angle. Chichu dropped, nobody. Off onto the extremity, flawless from Sentinels. You can say that from round 3 onwards.
They've always been in control. Have there been some dangerous moments where EDG have hit a nice shot, got into a good position? Yeah, of course. You're always going to get that with a team as good as EDG. And yet, SEN have sailed away. Clean swept the last 7 rounds in a row.
One enemy remaining.
Kangkang's finally going to bring out that operator. The economy's been damaged, been in ruins.
Not just Kangkang, it's double op.
Double opping.
Yeah, Smoggy.
It's not round 12. They don't have money.
The Sentinels, bit of early orb farming as well. See if they can get that rolling thunder online. Zellsis is now 1 away from it.
And they have been prioritizing this smoke at the top of C long as well, which cuts off Smoggy's sightline. He's not sure whether someone's tucked into Cubby, as Sassy has. He also doesn't know if someone's going to peek him from the right or the left. It's a tough situation to play with the op.
Yeah, and it might come down to reactions if he gets peeked.
I mean, he's also going to get pressure from Garage unless Chichu can hold that off.
Drone sees it. Off spotted. Out for Garage now. Pin to play by SEN. Try and make their moves in through the C site now. Ball cuts it up. You can see there's an awareness at the back of the heads of SEN. They're worried about this operator in play at work. Paranoia's used to clear most of the way alongside the dart. As many waves to the util. Celsius with the plant. Will get his ult online from this one. Everybody grouped up from EDG, setting themselves up to try and play for the retake, but it's preemptive. SEN using this to try and strike. Chichu's there. Offset though, nobody covering it. An overextension by Sentinels. Now it's up to these remaining players if they can pick up the pieces, but the stun is immaculate, and the spray down from Zellsis. Only the Wonder is troubles.
If Sentinels had had any idea there was a double operator set up in this round, I don't think they would have gone for such an aggressive post-plant option. But they didn't want to allow EDG all of that util advantage.
That's nasty.
And that's a crazy double kill from Chichu. EDG have been waiting for a moment like that the whole time. And the double ops did not particularly contribute there.
I accidentally hit my escape key.
And that round, Kangkang actually has the Neon ultimate to be able to make up for it. When he goes for the retake, he doesn't have to just play slowly behind his team, holding angles for them. Now, however, you take a look at what's going on for EDG, and he doesn't have that to be able to back himself up.
Yeah, use just in case they get overwhelmed and swarmed here. Just that EDG's defensive setup. Even B entirely open for the taking. Obviously, Sentinels don't know this one. It's been cautious from beginning to end in most of these rounds as well. High priority to try and break some of this util through, but the trip is spotted. It was a kill trip that Chichu was hoping to play off of. Bit of spam through the wall.
Second movement is so nice in these spots as well. Jump peeking scenarios where he might be thinking about an EDG player tucked in an angle. So difficult to play a one and done against a Neon with good movement like that. Here's another Neon, though, with a big weapon.
Let's go and re-exploring. Risky, but you're down so many rounds that sometimes risks need to be taken. Doesn't break down the drone. It's a fault line as well. Does catch. Slow down to a cruel cage on the cross. Sowing a bit of that misinformation. Sentinels trying to make it feel like they could be retaking over towards A lobby. Dart's going to be used side by side, though, shoulder to shoulder. These players unaware that they've crossed up. And Smoggy now isolated. He's on an island through the back of the site. The Utah once more. It is impeccable. Trying to dodge and weave around from this play. Chichu and Simon now. It's a quick flood attempt in through the back. Picking up these rifles in their hands. These for the upgrades. Hunter's Fury scatters through. Fights to be taken by EDG. That could be set up for success on most of it. Sprayed down. And with the Hunter's Fury dropping John QT, it's another round earned. EDG can add that to the tally.
What a sick defensive read by nobody. I want to give him his credit here because he got the wrong read in a prior round that started this avalanche away from him. But this time, he'd already called the rotate over to C as he was smoked off. Drone had already cleared, fault line. He knew, at least he should have thought, that SEN were starting to take space over on A.
Yeah.
He just did not buy that at all, was not convinced of what John had put together. Called his bluff. hits everything perfectly.
The pistol round and a few stray gun rounds. What a shot, Kang! Flexing his muscles. Second. My God, yeah, Tens is as well, but they don't realize and anticipate. Okay, Chichu is going to get dropped here right through the smoke. CDG trying to attempt to flood their way through. Nora Fifth reveals all. And Tens will make full usage of it. Paranoia. Connection. Movement from Kang is the only surviving element. And praying for a shot to connect there to make it just a little bit more winnable. But for Sentinels, primed and ready for that 8th round. Just a shorty to work with. There are so many angles as well. Gotta be worrying about the high ground where Tens have been perched up. It's a double hold out through the back. The Cam tagging him. You have to play into this round as a last chance in the half. But it's futile. He's been given nothing. Toyed with darts. He's having to deal with it all. It's all being dished out. One last hurrah by SEN. And that time, fully against him. A bit of a flourish, but still 8-4. Sentinels maintain that lead all the way for the first half of Haven.
And it would have looked even more dominant had EDG not been able to pick up a really important pistol at the start. Tens continues to be immaculate in these rounds. The teleport with his ultimate, the back B, the kills through the smoke. He's untouchable right now.
17-7. Yeah, doesn't get much better than that. Leading the charge, kill leader in the lobby. Doesn't look like he's slowing down at all in the slightest. Absolutely incredible match so far. We're going to send it down to the floor for a nice little interview.
Hello everyone, it's Bella back with the halftime interviews. I'm joined by Zekin's mom and Tenz's uncle. Hello, 안녕하세요. Okay, first, Tenz's uncle, you know, Tenz is by far, I feel like, the most famous Valorant player in the world. What is it like having such a superstar nephew? 이렇게 텐즈 선수가 워낙 이제 전 세계적으로 유명한 발로란트 선수인데 이런 슈퍼스타 조카를 둔 소감이 좀 듣고 싶습니다.
It's an honor to, like, honestly, the kid's on a different level. I wish I could take some, like, credit for some of the skills he has, but yeah, he's a different planet.
뭐 완전 영광이고 아무래도 뭐 텐즈 선수가 이렇게 잘하는 게 내 덕이야라고 조금은 말하고 싶지만 그냥 어나더 레벨 너무 대단한 선수라고 합니다. And do you have anything you want to add? I heard you can speak a little Korean.
안녕하세요, 여러분. 제가 텐즈 삼촌 크리스예요. 텐즈가 게임 하는 거 제가 다 알려준 거예요. 감사합니다.
다 알아들으셨죠? And you know, 제켄 어머니도 저희에게 좀 보여주고 싶은 게 있다고 하셨는데 한번 물어보도록 하겠습니다. And Zeken's mom, hi, nice to meet you. And I heard that you have a little something, especially the Korean fans.
안녕하세요.
And I heard there's also a little something that you wanted to show.
Okay, you ready?
All right, let's do it. Let's dance. Let's close out with the dance. Okay, let's go. All right, back to Haven.
That is just incredible, man. That is just incredible.
Oh, that's killed me going back in. That has killed me.
Okay. Sentinels.
She's got better movement than Zekin on Neon.
Yeah, yeah, man. Runs in the family. And it's Tens and Zekin, top of their team, showing no signs of slowing down. And this Sentinel squad, they have looked scarier as the tournament has gone on. The expectations, I think if you were watching some of their games heading into champs, wouldn't be too impressed with them. But they've proven that you cannot doubt this squad. They are consistently evolving.
From game to game,
yeah.
The game plans, the execution of it, the teamwork, it's all looked extremely strong. In this round on the pistol, Sentinels expecting a bit of pressure over towards A. That's not the case, but you're walking into Tens again, who's top of the scoreboard.
Potentially cut off from the sideline, though.
Looks slightly indecisive here from EDG. They don't like the look of what they just saw. So perhaps this stack from SEN may end up paying off anyway.
It's all just being quiet, silence. Jiggle spot from Zekin is the only thing to catch a contact of A short. And guess what? There's no EDG players there. It could work to their advantage, but...
That paranoia looks like it's going to be huge.
Yeah, not just that. Fault line, Zelsis. He's got it primed. So it's going to be used, an eye for an eye here with a util. Kang! He's right there, still surviving, still kicking, and he wants to take even more away from them. 2 removed before the trade is intact, but Zekken still here alive, worried about this flanking play, but the adjustment is there, at least with the micro aim. Drops Chichu. He's still the thorn in their sides, the paranoia sweeping through. Zekken plays his life, Sassy opens himself up in through heaven. There's chances here and accounted for. Nobody's seeing it, the trade though, nobody. Great adjustment. They're aware that Zekken was playing down towards here. There was not enough distraction to give him an in. Win cons are narrow at that. Simon, off angle, just can't drop in. 1 bullet will do it. Zekken somehow still alive in the midst of all of this. One is about to hard. Still the movement. Just couldn't escape and get out of dodge. Nobody. The bullet to the brain. Zekken falls, a 3-piece for him. And a pistol round for EDG. Potential now to make a bit of a comeback.
Major round for nobody to get on the board. He was absolutely crucial there to be able to clean up. How on earth has he got John in that situation too?
Right kick, demon.
Nobody being able to avoid that trade that came from heaven though, absolutely critical. Keeping himself alive so that he could trade out on Zekken in short to close things. That brings the gap down to 3. And EDG are going to make it.
That's cheeky.
It is very cheeky. I love the addition of these kind of strategies that SEN have thrown in. They were doing this kind of stuff on Lotus as well. Smokes that go into walls, create small pockets for you to dodge recon utility.
That's not going to be met. Sentinels obviously on their eco going to be trying to set up this trap play, but EDG, unless they choose to re-explore over towards C, which for now seems unlikely, you never know.
EDG playing with a lot of caution to begin these rounds. It's somewhat similar to what we saw from Sentinels. Cam taking contact over towards grass. The rest of the team ponderously walking towards B or A, staying grouped up as well, making sure that SEN don't catch any of them off guard. I mean, apart from Chishu, obviously.
They don't want to give away any of these guns. Everybody invested from EDG, not trying to, oh, wait.
Trip was broken on the flank here. This should be a normal, like, reacting to A, no problem, easy call.
They're going to go for that. So EDG open. Still a little bit worried as well because the defensive smoke. Zelsis has found Chichu. That does give away the gun, but got to imagine with side control, EDG as well. Spades at a util, Kang.
They're worried about the flank. They're thinking about pushing spawn and flipping the map. They decide not to, and it turns out that's the right call because most of SEN are back.
Time's going to start ticking here. Again, advantage should still be for EDG. Got the guns, 10s, okay. That's ridiculous. Zekken's been played in as well. All the crosshair placement being slipped up and around here. Kang is worried about these swings. No way, Sentinels can't be getting away with this. Off onto the flank, they double up players as well. Smoke once more, the dart has to be broken. Nobody's sticking this one. Sassy finally under the defuse, but everybody dropped. EDG.
The house of cards came crumbling down. Tumbled to the floor. There is such a thing as being too cautious in some of these rounds.
Yeah.
And I think EDG gave way too much space and respect there to SEN. Sentinels pull off a MasterCard Thrifty. And first of all, they isolate Chishu, right? But that only gets them 1 gun. It should still be difficult for them to come back into the site. The rest of EDG are backed up, trying to play passive post-plant positions. And Tensa's are just in, they'll immediately take that space.
That's what I mean. Everybody's focus is on Tens when he TPs into the smoke that he just placed down, plopped down in through the middle of the site.
And suddenly, EDG's attempt to get back into Haven looks like a far cry. A gap almost looked like it was going to be down to 2, and yet here it looks like it's going to be extended to 5. That's what a difference that 1 round makes.
Chichu's hoping that player would open himself up through into mid, give him an easy access to a shot, maybe a kill. Something to change the tide that's currently been fully against them in this map. Cut up onto the corner though, no util, that was contact by Kang.
Didn't hear the trip, didn't hear a cam, thought it would be open.
Flat down onto B.
Zelsis,
late.
A little late with it. I mean, usually Zelsis is going to be playing in the B connector. This time swapping things over, playing top garage. Was a little late on that, so there's chances that EDG could make something funky happen. Smokey's going to go for that garage post plant flank by the look of things.
First wave used by Sentinel clears out the side as well, so
like
they
the
got peace of mind. Zeffin's sticking this, got half already. Aftershock a little bit late. Trip is nice in case they do extend themselves out and try and take the fight past this point of almost no return. Very weak wars, flimsy paper mache at that Smoggy off from the side, but Zekin cleaned it, at least diffusing, sticking all the way while the rest of his team does press that advantage. So there was some level of danger. EDG get that plant down on playing the post from that spot.
You get rifles online and suddenly that round is super dangerous though. EDG had some nice ideas about how they wanted to play the post plan. You know, the early garage information could have set up Smoggy. I really like Chishu's setup as well. He had Cam and Trip. That Trip is so tough for the retakers to deal with, but he got spammed through the wall, and at that point, Util goes down. EDG, though, need to start putting this kind of stuff together on rounds that are super important, those rifle eco swing round moments. And they're going to take a tactical timeout here. The last one off the map to try to get things back on track.
This is their map pick as well at Haven that's just going so poorly. I mean, I was so ready to sing the praises of EDG, I think, in terms of preparation they put in as well. I mean, we're always going to talk about individuals popping off. And the form has been there. I mean, Kang is sitting at 15 and 12. Right at the top, he's definitely been earning himself a lot of kills, but coaching staff of EDG definitely seems like they put a lot of emphasis into anti-stratting, making sure that they can pick apart what teams like to do on certain maps. But for Sentinels, this team that we've mentioned are ever-evolving, always changing it up, getting scarier and scarier. This cat-and-mouse game where you're just trying to play catch-up, some of the prep you might have done to anti them might not even be true anymore.
Absolutely, especially considering that they've only played this Neon version of their Haven comp once before.
Yeah.
And they crushed, so they didn't have to show everything that they have in the back.
Very much all in by EDG. Timeout has to be taken to convert at least this round.
And on the attack side, you need Smoggy to start getting involved as well. He's been one of, if not the most impactful player for EDG in their run at champs. He's absent right now.
Oh my goodness, okay, Kang. Fast play. Zips his way past there. Zekin's going to be revealed up as well, but has to respect most of this one. Sassy trying to play with the drone that was used prior, gets the tag onto the one, but push back and away. But a player dropped on the side of Sentinels. This is the opening that EDG were praying for.
Kang's delivered them another one.
Second going for that re-exploration, looking for the info. Simon's tucked, only the shoulder. Smoggy's there to supplement as well, help him. Ow, what is that movement? Second just counters it, Simon. It's an absolute worldie with that shot right there. And the reload bullet sprayed down to the bitter end. Simon, quick to capitalize.
Some incredible shooting to get EDG back into things there. Tens is gonna hit
all
of these rotates.
Footsteps.
He might be able to cut somebody off as well. Nobody was thinking about going through the garage. That would have been a death sentence. Tens is right here behind them, though. If EDG pause for a moment, he's going to have the backstab.
Yep. That smoke at C is going to be fading. They are not going to anticipate this. He is so quick right there behind them.
He needs his own smoke to fade.
And it will be dissipating. Opens him up, Simon! He's still there, though. This guy's been a savior for EDG in so many moments. The Util just narrowly avoided. At least with the fault line, John QT still here. But enough has been done, surely, for EDG, and they know it. Doubled up high-low. Simon taking that point. 4-piece in the end. That's what EDG needed.
Somebody else to come in and clean up what Kang delivers you with his opening duels and his entrying. How does he get that at all? Celsius should have been way behind the corner there. Wow. These shots, it's absurd what Simon's put together, especially when he's stunned up in the corner. Nice idea from Sentinels, but Simon rips it away. I was talking about Smoggy stepping up, but it's a newcomer that delivers that difference-making round.
Yeah, and over the course of the tournament, Simon has just been impressing over and over again.
Yeah.
Heavy stack from Sen. Misses. Zekin gets onto the line of sight, but feels like a bit of uncertainty. Can't really take the fight that he wanted to here. The drone from nobody should be clearing, potentially. Might just be fading. In fact, it is. So doesn't clear into the corner. Hunter's Fury to push them back and away. One tag. Plenty more players where that came from, and it does soften up a few of them. So EDG feeling a bit weakened, but not deterred away from A.
They've also seen Simon's ripping it on the fake.
He's going for a fake here, just very much alone, just trying to cut that noise. The Hunter's Fury as well to try and sell this one. Players trying to be pulled back. Sassy, though, he realizes it. There's no follow-up off the back of it. Doesn't hear any footsteps, so Sentinels just contain that. Bring it down into the 4v4, slow it all the way down, realizing that they've lost control, but so is Kang. Losing track of where these players could potentially be. John QT puts him in his place and spraying him down through the cage. All revealed with the neural theft. It's gone tipsy-turvy. EDG. What should have been a great opener, they've overthunk, I think, into the round itself. Teacher's low, great movement. Slightly ajar, just making it so damn uncomfortable for these EDG players to stand their ground and take these fights. Sentinels up to 11.
Didn't really like the fake attempt there. I think it's far too obvious what EDG pulled out in that round. They're sending double ults, but there's nobody scaling off of it. There's no standard util at the beginning, like recon flashes, that kind of stuff. And on top of that, the rest of EDG weren't even set up to hit a site immediately. They were still making that migration over towards the C site. They weren't already in position to capitalize on the timing. Sen cleaned that up a bit too easily there. EDG's eco is... It's weird looking. I don't know if they're trying to half buy or if they're trying to force it. What's Smoggy doing?
It's all over the place. It's a bargain bin buy, but they're not on the same page with this one. Another fault line to set this up. Early angles from Kang, but he's revealed up. No one deals with that dart. The bolt and the stun just not quite connecting. Still, they want to square him, Simon! God, he's a miracle worker. Survives on barely a shred of health. As low as you can go. Got noise now, go for the rest of the hit, but he has opened this site up now. In and away, John QT. Spraying in through the smoke as well. The slightest of reveals and the bullets just not quite landing onto Kang, but potentially done enough here. Played sassy in through, onto the flank, right through the wall. Lands it to the dome. Kang's being dropped now. 3 versus 3 Sentinels. Still make a go of things here. EDG trying to make that play. Good trade by TenZ once more, but the smoke dropped down. Now with a paranoia, all added on top. Leaving it just down to TenZ, and he's doing damage right through the wall. Isolates the one for bullet! Oh boy! TenZ! He just will not be stopped!
What a beast! What an incredible player! He's having a monstrous tournament. He has been performing at outrageous levels. The game against Gen G, his impact today, 21 kills across 18 rounds. And he's just saved them after Simon should have opened the door and made that one unlosable for EDG.
One enemy remaining.
Isolating the angles perfectly, swinging back out. And Smoggy just cannot find a kill today. Another 1v1 kind of clutch situation that he can't win.
Almost every clutch going away is SEN, almost every single round off the back of that.
He also didn't have armor, by the way, Smoggy, to begin that round. Maybe that could have made a difference.
For EDG now, frantic attempt. It's a tap. Try and pull somebody util out as well. Fake the presence. Second. What? The cage helps him. How's he getting away? That's ridiculous. Glides himself back as well. And back and forth we go. It's EDG scrambling for a chance to get back into this. Second is still alive. Overdrive in his hands, and he wants more. Never bite of the apple. But discipline is called for in moments like this, and they tempered around down at that minute mark. Celsius, flash, re-exploration, re-clearing, double held though, and that is Sentinels getting ahead of themselves.
It is good information, however, for Sassy to start pushing out. Could he be the playmaker here?
Odin.
EDG are quite trapped. They don't quite know where everybody is. In fact, they don't know where anybody is.
Full map control lost. Sassy, Smoggy. He's watching for that peek. The slow walk around the corner.
Finally comes alive in this
30
map.
seconds left.
It's down to Celsius, 1v3 spam. Through into the smoke. Plan down from Simon, but the smoke was watched the entire time. And Smoggy's turn to really come alive. It's 4 kills from him in the round.
They need that from Smoggy. He's been utterly crucial for them in terms of accessing their full potential.
Almost doubled his kills.
Second movement though is absolutely world class. And he's only played, what is this, his 3rd map playing Neon?
This year?
This year.
Yeah.
With new Neon as well. I mean, all of the stuff he did years ago playing Neon is it's not all that relevant anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, he's a prodigy, I think, when it comes to, I mean, I'm sure he's played Neon before, obviously, but same setup being used by EDG. Got to claw back these rounds one step at a time. Sassy jump spot, gets that acknowledgement.
And at no point can EDG make a mistake. One error, like Chishu walking in here, and it could all be over!
Oh no! Uchiju dropped. The flank opened up. And Sentinels, they know that they can play this one nice and safe.
Look at the retake cam. Broken. Nice awareness.
Yeah, shock dart has to be used to make sure to get rid of that one though, but he planned down. Extension into the round, but this is it. This is where EDG make their stand. See if they can stay alive into this map.
You need good defensive utility here from the post planners. Paranoia, Aftershock has to be used to keep them back.
It's going to be used. Eye for an eye when it comes to the util. Aftershock even down into hell. Sentinels are being kept out of the fight. Kang will ensure that they don't step past it. Nobody right there with him. The feed is filled up. All with red. And hunting, chasing. John QT fully blinded. Kang empowered. EDG are still in this fight.
Lovely post-plan situation play there from EDG. That's such a critical round for them to get. Those 2 in a row from EDG have now knocked the economy to SEN.
Enemy remaining.
Which is the first time.
It's
apart
over.
from, you know, follow-ups from pistols or whatever. So those chances, 6 of them, narrowed down to 4. He still can't afford to make a mistake. It must be flawless from here on out to get us into overtime. And we've seen, I mean, even if you think back to yesterday, G2 playing against Fnatic, they're having to be flawless in that situation. Wild things can happen.
Oh yeah.
Triple spray downs, full blind, they can occur in games like this. So you never want to be in a spot like EDG currently is, where one big play or one mistake can send you rattling forwards onto Sentinel's map pick of Lotus. All the pressure is on your shoulders.
No more breathing room. Luckily,
EDG are 1 match win away from being able to get a top 3 spot. And not just a global event, not just a Masters event, a Champions. Something they never managed to achieve before. And that's top 3 minimum. Who knows? They could go further perhaps. And yet today, they haven't been able to access that full potential just yet. They're going to need 4 big rounds to show us what they're truly made of.
with no room for error. These players have been in similar spots before. They know you have to take it 1 round at a time. For Sentinels, economy dropped all the way down. You can see it just from the 2 sheriffs that are being worked with.
Do they have a eco round strategy to work with here? Yeah, it's another one of those smokes that goes inside a wall, with the idea being you can dodge the recon dart, and Zekken can swing out from an unexpected position. He's also playing anti-flash in that spot as well, right? If Simon did go for that flash through bricks. But EDG not going to send with any pace on the anti-eco. And they have been playing these kind of rounds really slowly, very cautiously.
Which does potentially open themselves up to mistakes being made. Sentinels are going for the full migration.
John's heard the drone.
The attempt to pull some players away, at least nobody, they're seeing no signs of life. You feel so worried into this spot if you are EDG. Potentially even committing. I mean, full bodies, players making their way over towards the seaside. Guess what? Sentinels are ready to meet them. See if the weaponry does make that difference here with a stuns. Util offloaded into the corner. Kang just can't really hold it down, but a steady ground, but still, as those smokes fade away, overdrive! Kang! It's galvanizing. An electric performance from him, still adjusting TenZ. Difficult shot for him to hit. Sheriff in hand, 4-piece, hunting down the remaining player. John QT quaking in his boots, but he will not give up that ace.
I love the determination with which Kang hunted for that one too. It would have been far better for Simon to pick up the kill, get his ult online for the next round. Got to imagine that EDG are fairly confident about getting those ults up anyway. Ult orb over by C hasn't been contested too much by SEN. Maybe this would be the round to pull out some kind of play like that. Fight over one of the orbs. Kang with all of those kills has now overtaken TenZ and Zekken, who are tied at 21 apiece. But they still got to get 3 more of those. Now SEN have rifles back. Here's that same strat again.
Yep. Hiding away. Edge of the smoke just might reveal the hand of SEN of what they're going for here. The drone has to be broken. EDG making an attempt to play for that A lobby control, inserting Smoggy, potentially for the long hauls. Utah's going to be used, pulled out of them. They don't want anything to do with it. Hunter's Fury could get some tags onto a few of these players. Yeah, Kang. He was dodging, was weaving, was hoping that it would be unaccounted for. And here's the reaction. EDG now making the moves over towards C.
Who gets the plant in this position? Okay, nobody throws the spike over to Simon. That's going to get them Rolling Thunder active. Do they play aggressive with it? We saw SEN fail in this spot before.
They're going to let it loose. Let it rip in through the back. But it's so easy to overextend if you're the attackers. That's broken. That's the trigger. They want to try and go for this one. Smokes in their face. Aftershock as well. Rifles in play at work. Fault line. And get Sentinels back into the fight, back into the fray. Cut them up. Paranoia is perfect. Players are there. Sliding, gliding forwards. Chichu is dropped to his knees. And for EDG has to watch in dismay as the spike is defused, the map is stolen away. Their map pick of Haven. And now you have to stand up to the test that is Lotus, excuse me, for that map too.
A great opener from SEN. A squad that are just getting scarier and scarier.
Evolving as the course of the series goes on as well. The series, of course, yet to be concluded. EDG could still battle back, but it's going to be a hell of a task when SEN are playing like this.